Title: Waiter who insulted Big Shaq didn't know he owned the restaurant. I'll never forget the look on that waiter's face. He thought he was embarrassing just another customer. He thought he was showing off his power. But what he didn't know, the man he was humiliating wasn't just any customer. He was the owner. He was the reason that restaurant even existed. And when the truth came out, the entire room froze. So here's how it started. Shaquille O'Neal, Big Shaq, had this habit most people didn't know about. Even though he owned a ton of businesses, he liked showing up unannounced, just to see how things were running when nobody knew the boss was watching. This one evening, he slipped in quietly. No flashy suit, no entourage, nothing that screamed celebrity. Just a hoodie, some sneakers, and a man looking for a meal. To anyone who didn't recognize him, he looked like any other guy off the street. And that's the thing. He wanted it that way. He wanted to see people's true colors, because how you treat someone when you think they have nothing, that's who you really are. The restaurant was buzzing, glasses clinking, laughter echoing, servers darting between tables. It should have been a warm, welcoming place. But from the moment he walked in, Shaq felt it. That look. That cold, judging look from one waiter who decided, without a word, that this man didn't belong there. The waiter barely greeted him. No smile, no welcome in. Just a hand gesture like he was shooing him away, and he pointed Shaq toward the worst seat in the house, right by the noisy kitchen doors. At first, Shaq brushed it off. He'd seen prejudice before. But then it got worse. The waiter ignored him completely. Tables that came in after him got water, drinks, and menus before he even got a glance. And when Shaq finally did get food, it was tossed on the table like trash. No care, no respect, and you could feel the room start to notice. A few people were staring, some whispering. A couple even pulled out their phones, squinting like, "Wait a second, isn't that Shaquille O'Neal?" But the waiter didn't notice. He just kept moving with that same smug attitude. And every little thing he did wasn't just disrespect. It was humiliation. Shaq sat there quietly, not because he was powerless, but because he was waiting. Waiting to see just how far this man would go when he thought nobody important was watching. And then it happened. A group of guests came in, nicely dressed, looking the part. The waiter rushed over, big fake smile, treating them like royalty. Best seats, fast service, glasses sparkling with champagne. And as he walked past Shaq's table, he let out this little laugh. Not friendly, not kind. The kind of laugh that says, "Yeah, you don't belong here. That was it." Shaq pushed his chair back and stood up. And if you've ever seen him in person, you know, when Shaq stands, the whole room shifts. He's massive. He doesn't even have to say a word, and suddenly, every eye in the place was on him. The whispers turned into gasps. People realized, all at once, the man sitting quietly in that corner wasn't just some random customer, it was Shaquille O'Neal, and more than that, he was the man signing the paychecks. The man who owned the very place this waiter thought was too good for him. You could see the waiter's face drop. All that arrogance melted into panic. He knew, in that second, he'd just destroyed his own career. The room went silent. Shaq could have exploded on him. He could have yelled, cursed, flipped the entire situation upside down. But instead, he did something way more powerful. He spoke calmly, steady, and he reminded everyone listening that night, respect costs nothing. You don't know who's sitting in front of you. You don't know their story, their past, or their power, but you owe them dignity. Always. The manager was called in. The situation was handled quietly but firmly. The waiter didn't last the night. And honestly, it wasn't Shaq that ruined him. It was his own prejudice, his own choices. But the impact didn't stop there. People in that room walked away with a story they'd tell for years. And when it hit the news, the message was clear. It's easy to smile at people who look rich. Easy to serve those who seem important. But true character is how you treat the ones you think can't give you anything back. So let me ask you this. The next time a stranger walks into your world, how will you treat them? Like they don't belong? Or like they just might own the place?